Hey, what's up, 10th graders? This is Mr. Kais. I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to cite poetry correctly. As you can see, I'm on the page with the questions from the text questions from King Midas. Okay, it's the poem that you should have read. There are 5 questions, and each one of them is going to ask you to answer and cite evidence and explain the old A strategy. Okay. So you're going to support each answer with evidence from the poem. We're going to look at question number 1. We're going to do it as an example for you and show you how to correctly cite poetry because it is a little different than citing regular text. Okay. So the question says, what causes the palace clocks to stop at the beginning of the poem? So we're going to go here to this presentation right here where I'm going to show you how to cite poetry. So if I'm going to answer this question here, first of all, I'm going to answer the question. Well, obviously, Midas touches the clocks and turns them to gold. So I'm going to answer that in my own words. That's the answer part. It's my claim. So I'm going to write there, King Midas touches the clocks and turns them into gold. They stop uh, because of this change. Okay, very basic answer. You can do a little better than that. I'm just trying to get through it quickly for this tutorial. Okay, I'll make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. A little bit bigger even. There we go. Now, so we have our answer. Let's cite evidence, okay? So I'm looking over here. If you look over here on the left, you will see I have the first stanza from the King's speech and from King Midas right here. And that's where our answer is. The palace clocks are stiff as coats of mail. Time stopped. I flicked it with my fingernail. Okay. There is the moment when King Midas touches the clocks and turns them to gold. This is what we're going to cite right here. We are going to cite these 2 lines. Now, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go ahead and type that in. We're going to put quotation marks around it. The palace, just as I see it. I'm going to type it in just as I see it. The palace clocks are stiff as coats of mail, period. Now, I want you to take notice right here. The line ends right here. Okay. We have to show indication that that line is ending, and we're going to use what we call a slash right there. Okay. It's the one down by the shift key. I get it mixed up, whether it's forward or backwards. It's a backward slash. Okay. You're going to put a slash there to indicate that it is a line break. We're using a slash to indicate there's a line break. And then we're going to continue on with our answer. Now, this just happens to have the line break right there. But what if this text was smaller? Okay. Then we wouldn't. We would have the line continuing right here. So that's why we have to have that slash. Time stopped. I flicked it with my fingernail. Okay. We are done copying and pasting or copying our citation over. Now we have to cite it correctly. Now, the correct way to cite a poem, we are not going to use the author's last name. We are just going to indicate the lines that was used in the citation. Okay. So we are going to look it over here, and you can see the number 5 right there. So that's in the line number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've cited lines 1 and 2. So we are going to write 1 and 2, just like that, and put a period. 1 through 2. Now, it could be lines, you could have lines 20 through 25, 45 through 56. Okay. It just depends on what lines you're citing. We're just citing lines 1 and 2, and that is it. We're done citing poetry. So that's how you cite from a poem. The line numbers, and make sure you use the backslash here to show a line break. And make sure you use your quotation marks like normal. And you're there. So we can go ahead and move this up here. And then we can begin to explain. which I won't do right here, but you can explain why the clock stops. You can make it all times New Roman size 12, and we have ourselves an answer. So that's how you cite poetry. Uh, if you have any other questions about this, let me know. Send me an email. Be glad to answer it.